Now my hard drive has broken down. So is my heart. By hard drive, I mean the external hard drive, not the computer's built-in hard drive. Okay, it's a portable hard drive. It's an external hard drive you plug in for file backup, that kind of thing. Now, it's broken. It doesn't start anymore. It's dead. I digged into it and found some very depressing news, to me that is, but I'm going to share it with you here. The manufacturer says the hard drive's life expectancy is only 6 months, a year, to about 3 years' time. I don't believe any of those. Man, how can a hard drive just last 3 years? I couldn't even mention the low end, but that's what I got. Again, I don't believe it. Even worse, for solid state drives, I'll share with you later on. My drive that is dead is dead. I will try to recover, but it depending on the luck, right? Into the future, how I'm going to use it, how I prevent those things from happening is what I'm going to share with you. Hard drives has two different kinds. One is the electromagnetic type, which has the disk that spins inside, has a spindle that raises the spinning disk. But that's the old type of physical hard drive, and it actually has moving parts. The other type is those silicon type. The silicon type actually is like your memory card, your SD card, your memory stick, those kind of things. They make it bigger capacity into a solid state hard drive. It's like your credit card sized. Now, for those, the life expectancy is even less. It's like 3 months, 6 months on the low end, and then it goes on to about, 2 years, 1 year, 3 years maybe. I really do not believe those. However, I could understand why manufacturers gave a very low figure here. For one thing, if it's broken, then you wouldn't say, this is a bad quality because you say 10 years expectancy, but it only lasted 1 year. But no, they give you that 1 year to start with. If it's broken down or it's dead, you accept it, right? But if it goes beyond 1 year, or into 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, you would say, hey, this is really good quality stuff. So it is nice. Quoting low actually makes happy customers, okay? Although it's shocking for me to learn and to have safe data storage. I'll go with the physical hard drive, the spinning type first, okay? For those things, you basically having electromagnetic signals recorded on the steel plate. You will see here, right? And those actually is read by the spinning head, the spindle. So to retrieve the information, you write on it. From the day one, you write those electromagnetic signals on the disk, on the steel plate. It's actually slowly degrading. It's more like a painting on the church, or either the wall or the cathedral ceilings. They actually loses color as they age. So ever so slightly, you don't notice it day to day, but you certainly notice it. The paint is no longer so fresh, like say 20, 50 years down the road. But for those electromagnetic signals on the disk, it actually degrades gradually as well, like 1% a year. So in that case, usually if you do the math, by the time they get some 60 years down the road, they lose 50% of their original signal strength. So therefore, they won't be readable. But you don't need that long to lose your data though. It could become unreadable long ago before that 60-something years happening. The suggestion I learned was you actually power it on. Power it on, occasionally, say like every couple of months, so to keep those signals energized. It is a good practice to power your hard drive on occasionally. Certainly it's not once every 2 years or 3 years. That's really, it's like static storage. That is bad for all kinds of hard drives, external drives, internal drives, whatever. You got to power it on, okay? And with those physical spinning head, electromagnetic drives, if you could rewrite them, the information, as they can still be readable, onto another drive, physical drive, and back and forth, the newly rewritten info will actually last longer than the original ones. You just write on the drive and leave it and forget it. So periodically write onto another drive and transfer it back onto this drive. And those, as long as those drives are physically good, your data should be good. But how often should you do it? Maybe once a year, maybe once 2 years. See how you actually work out. But I'm going to rewrite my data, say follow the suggestions periodically, just to keep them actually safer, right? Making backups. First reason that you get the hard drive is for backups. Backups on backups, maybe. That's a better way of keeping your data safe, right? So that's on the physical side of spinning plate hard drives. Now look onto the solid state, very small credit card sized hard drives. And these are wonderful, so light, you can take it anywhere. They're not having as big a capacity as the big hard drives, but then again, they're convenient. They cost a bundle upwards to $1,000 for a small credit card sized solid state drive, but then again, you get quality, I suppose. But actually, the life expectancy on those, the low end, is actually even less than the physical steel plate hard drives. They're actually, some people quoting them like 6 months to 1 year. Again, I don't believe any of those. I've seen SSD drives last far longer than that, into 5 years or something, no trouble. These things are silicone based. There is no moving parts inside. So it's like you write in the sand. Now maybe people walking on the beach, or the wind, or the tidal, whatever would actually wash those writings away in the sand. It's like a silicone. They're arranged by your electrical readers or writers to arrange their silicones in a way that it gives you readable data. But those, if you leave them just as they are, they're actually having a less stable life than your physical steel plate spindle kind of drives. Write and forget probably again is the worst practice. Although people say you don't have to power them on because that there is no moving parts, the writing is different from those traditional hard drives. But in case, given that I just found out my hard drive is dead, for my SD cards, SSD drives, or USB drives, it's the same thing. It's a silicone-based, no moving parts inside. So these things, it would be a really good practice, at least I would do that, is to power it on, plug it in once in a while, just to make sure the data is still there. Right. If some data becomes unreadable, then again, you will be doing the recovery. The sooner you find out, the better. So if you write and forget, and 2 years later you found that you can't read it, and that time is much harder to recover than you would find out sooner, right? So every few months or couple of months, you actually put it in, plug in, whatever into your mobile device and the cameras or whatever, and make sure it works. And then if something is bad, you may be able to recover it, or maybe recover most part of it, so you lose less. That's how I learn, and what I'm going to do. But still, got to figure out how to recover data from a dead hard drive. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. This is Shenfei signing off. Ciao.